Good evening, everyone. I'm Art Fennell. Thanks for being here. We begin tonight with a tribute to those who risk their lives every day to save ours. The first responders to those deadly fires we report on so often. The firemen who run into the line of fire when others are running away from it. And each and every day, they help those in need. They're heroes in the hot place. It's a group that Hollywood has dramatized on more than one occasion. That's a clip from the 2004 blockbuster Ladder 49, and sure, this was just a movie. But in some cases, it's not too far from reality. And it can often be a tragic reality. Just this month, 9 firemen were killed in Charleston, South Carolina, fighting that huge blaze that broke out at a furniture store there. It was the largest single loss of U.S. firefighters since the 9/11 attacks. Less than a week prior, a wall of flames ripped through this row home in Pittsburgh. Officials say 8 children were left home alone, and it sparked that blaze when they were playing with matches. Only 3 of those children were able to get out alive. 5 of the others, ages 3 to 7, could not. And who can forget the Independence Day fire of 2002 that claimed the lives of 3 young girls and the 3 brave firemen that rushed in to those flames to try to save them? It happened when the fire broke out at a multi-story duplex in Gloucester City, New Jersey. One man who knows exactly what it's like to put his life on the line for others is Walt Jackson. He's an 18-year veteran with the Philadelphia Fire Department, and he was badly injured fighting a fire back in January of 1994. Walt Jackson joins me now from our studios in Philadelphia to share his story. First of all, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Art.
Let's go back. Take me back in time. What happened in your case when you were injured?
Well, it was a cold day in January 28th of 1994. We got the alarm of fire, I think it was about 12:17. This actually happened 2 blocks from the fire station, which is at Broad and Fitzwater. We got the alarm and we proceeded to go there. And it was actually a church, Rising Sun Baptist Church. It's at 12th and Fitzwater. When we got there, we seen smoke coming from the rear, which actually we thought could be maybe some rubbish. But in turn, we found out that it wasn't.
And does that happen a lot when fires are a lot worse than they are first perceived to be? Because fires are certainly tricky business.
That's correct. Sometimes it might look like it's small, but until you open the place up, then you find out it's much more than what you say.
You were burned badly over a large portion of your body. Did the church collapse on you, or what happened that led to your injuries?
Actually, we had what we call a flashover, and then some of the room collapsed on us.
The flashover would be?
When the room ignited to a certain flame, the fire ignited in the room, and combustions. Things happen in the room and it just caught on fire.
Sure, happens fast, I know.
Yes.
We see these stories all the time, Walt, all around the country where firefighters are rushing in to try and preserve life and to try and save structures. Do you think that sometimes the general public doesn't fully understand the dangers that the firemen go through on a daily basis?
I think they don't. I think they really think that most of the time we're sitting around the firehouse playing with dogs and eating. But in the wee hours of the morning, we're actually out there doing our job. A lot of times the public doesn't see that.
Yeah, and I said this earlier, but you guys are running into the fire when other people are trying to run away from it quick, fast, and in a hurry.
That's correct, Art.
I don't know if you're a political man or not, and I don't want to get into a political discussion, but I'll just ask you this as a layman in your case for now. When you hear about the political debates that take place over whether or not firemen have the adequate equipment they need to go in and fight a fire, or when there are political discussions of budget cuts and funds are being taken away from firehouses and fire companies, and some even being shut down, does that discourage you that the politicians don't seem to get it, that you guys need all the help you can get?
That's correct, Art. I think that only times when we're in the need and we lose a firefighter do the people really understand that we actually need all the equipment, all the newest equipment, and we need to be manned, staff man, where we can have all the people do their jobs.
And again, I know that typically the men themselves will stay away from the politics of these because you're focused on just doing your jobs, but that would have to make that awfully difficult in some cases.
Well, it is difficult at times, Art, but most firemen, could they do their job anyway because they love their job. They're here to do the job, so they'll do the job.
And it's a close-knit group. Talk to me about the Brotherhood of the Firemen. Again, when there is a fireman who has fallen in the line of fire, we see so many that come out from all over the country, and it is just a massive humanitarian display that this was someone that we may not have known, but that we deeply care for.
It's a brotherhood. It's just like the police. We have a brotherhood. We have large camaraderie. It's just like a family, because most of the time you spend a lot of time with these guys. You spend just about as much time with them as you do with your family. So we all consider brothers.
Is that why you stayed with the force? Again, in your case, you were badly injured back in 1994. I'm sure that your family probably wished that you would, hey, look, Walt, find another line of work at something that's a little safer. But yet and still, you're still associated with the Philadelphia Fire Department.
This is correct, Art. I made the decision. It was a conscious decision that I made that this was part of my life, and I wanted to continue it. And it's been great thus far.
And in terms of where you are now, looking back, would you have changed anything? I'm sure that that flashover that caught you was something that you couldn't have known was around the corner or about to happen. But would you change anything?
No, I wouldn't, Art. I would still want to be a Philadelphia firefighter, and I still would have went out on that alarm that same day, as I do now.
Okay, I'll give you the last word here and now to say something that would speak to the testament of the men and women who go out there on a daily basis, who are the ones who are still fighting even now.
Well, Art, once a fireman, you're always going to be a fireman. We love to do our job. We're here to help, here to save people. We're here to do whatever we need to keep the job running smoothly.
All right. Well, Walt, we certainly appreciate you sharing your insights with us. We thought it was important, particularly given all of the headlines recently where we've seen some very tragic blazes that have claimed lives and just dramatic fires that have burned massive structures. And we just thought it was a good idea to have you on to talk about that. Thank you.
I appreciate it, Art.
And thanks for your service. Okay.